G'day everyone, welcome back to another edition of Guvs Hero Review videos. Today we are continuing in our Springtech series, taking a look at the 5-star legendary yellow heroine, Pika, the Springtech Combat Medic. Note that this is the review video for the normal version of Pika. Check out the description to this vid if you're looking for the review of the variant form. I will add it there once it is published. Pika and her variant are today a package deal, and you get both of them if you summon them from the Spring Seasonal Portal, which comes around once every calendar year. As is the case with each of the seasonal events, even though it's only a one-off appearance, it does run for a 4-week period, and typically the Spring one will bridge the months of March and April, allowing you two different chances at the Heroes of the Month, or two different Heroes of the Month rather. The normal version of Pika, or the Combat Medic version, it has been in the game for quite a while now. It was added in the very first edition of the Spring Portal, or the Spring event, alongside Bunny Hop and Hairwear. That was back in March 2021. It was updated 2 further times in March 2022 when we saw the addition of Coney and Lepus, and then again in March 2023 when we saw the variants for Pika and Hairwear added to the portal. The portal itself has some odds. We can see them there at 0.6% chance for a legendary seasonal hero and a 1% chance for a legendary seasonal variant hero, such as Pika. So what that means is if we were to do 100 summons in this portal, we would have a 63% probability of drawing one of the two variant heroes and a 45% probability of drawing a non-variant legendary hero. At the time of this review, if we were going after a specific hero, there is a 39% probability of drawing a specific variant hero, such as Pika, and only an 18% probability of drawing one of the specific non-variant options. Not Hairwear, Pika. Heading over, and we'll take a quick look at her artwork real hot, so 2 seconds. So here we are, we see her artwork, and we can see that it is a combat medic sort of look. So she's got the medic hat on, a little neck piece, which is designating her as a medic as well, and I guess some like angel-esque wings on her back to sort of make her out to be good and all of that sort of thing. But yeah, that's sort of her artwork. Feel free to pause it if you wish, but otherwise I'll continue with the review with 2 quick notes. So there are 2 notes that I need to sort of outline before we go further into this review. Number 1, the portal that we see, this card here, it is inclusive of the full variant bonus on Pika. So her base stats without any of the variant is going to be less than what's shown here. So to get these full stats, you do need to have the Pika fully leveled up, but then you also need to get the variant and level it all the way up as well. The second thing that I want to note and point out is that the speed on her card is currently being inaccurately displayed. This is because SGG have an issue in their game where they are incorrectly showing the effect of charge generation bonuses, both variant and speed nodes, onto the base hero cards. I have made a separate video explaining this in great depth, what the bug is and what the impact for it. The link should appear on the screen at the moment and is going to be included in the description of this video, but the TLDR is that someone has tried to make a improvement and show the effect of the charge generation bonus. Unfortunately, the methodology they used is flawed, and it's not how the speed mechanic nor the charge generation mechanics actually work in game. So the end result is that these charge speeds displayed on the cards are now quote unquote inclusive of those bonuses, but are inaccurate in them. So yeah, moving on with the actual review of Pika. So we can see that she is a member of the Springtech family. So she is going to give 5% charge to all allies whenever she casts her special skill. This is increased by 2% per each unique additional Springtech family member in the battle. So some things with this. So number 1, it is a flat percentage. It's applied to all recipients regardless of what their speed actually is. So because of this, slow heroes actually gain more effect because they've got a higher charge generation requirement compared to fast heroes. The other thing to note is that it is affected by all forms of charge generation bonuses, such as variants and class emblems, as well as buffs and ailments you might see in game, although you are somewhat unlikely to even see any impact from it, because after all, it is only a 5% increase for the variant bonus, so 5% of 5% is just a 0.25% increased charge, so you're not going to see that benefit at all, really. The other thing to note is that it does say that they have to be unique heroes, so it can't be 2 different copies of Pika. It's got to be 2 different heroes, such as combining Pika with, Hairware, or even, interestingly, if you've got 2 copies of Pika, you can use, I believe, Pika and another copy as variant Pika, and that will trigger the effect. I believe. I'm not 100% certain on that one, though. In terms of her personal stats, we do see that Pika, as I mentioned, her base stats, even though they're not shown here, her base stats are 661 attack, 715 defense, and 1,419 HP. Including the variant bonus, which generates an additional 6, 6, and 9% bonus for the attack, defense, and health, respectively. We come out with the attack shown of 700 attack, 757 defense, and 1,546 HP. So there is, the only reason I'm overviewing those numbers as well is because there is the opportunity where people that summoned Pika in 2021 and 2022 don't have the variant bonus available to them. So their numbers will be a little bit lower than what's shown on the screen now. The skewing is obviously going a little bit from that attack stat towards the defense and the HP, which is fine. It works for a medic or a support class hero. A medic and a support type hero. So there's no real issue with that skewing at all. The class itself, it is a... Far out, go away. It is a medic class, which means that she is... we've skipped down a bit, but she is granted the chance to provide health or healing to all allies for 7% of their health after receiving any damage. It is a very useful perk to have. It's free healing. The downside is that it's only procced once per turn, so it doesn't matter what how many instances of damage Pika takes, there will only be 1 healing that is applied. But the damage can come from any source. It can be tiles, it can be slash attacks, it can be minions, it can be DOT effects or anything like that. So it is a very good effect to have. Her charge speed is set to 67, which is fast speed. Sorry, I take that back. It is 64, which is fast speed, and requires 9 tiles to charge. So yes, it shows as 67 on this at the moment, but her actual speed is 64, and that goes back to the bug I was overviewing earlier. So 9 tiles to charge or 5 ghosted tiles. The speed break requires +1, which you can do any number of different ways. You've got the variant bonus gets you across the line. You've got the charge emblem node at +19. Either of the weapons, you've got the +7 Triss Vector, which is a 4-star gun. You've got the +6 Ragnarok Vantage. There's even a +3 gun, which you can get as well. A double break does need to go from 64 speed up to 72, so that's a +8 improvement. So you can get there using either the +7 Triss Vector, combining it with the 2% class node, or you can do it using a +6 Ragnarok Vantage, but you do need the 5% from the variant bonus in that situation. So the class node isn't really necessary and not relevant really if you've already got the variant bonus active. So it is something to sort of be mindful of when you're doing your talent tree. On the topic of the talent tree, now that I've gone and done that all a little bit backwards, let's have a look at what we might do for some emblems. So she is a member, as we saw, of the medic talent or the medic class. So I would definitely be going a defense HP route in order to boost her survival. There's no real need to give additional damage to her because there's no damage benefit. So how we would do this is we would definitely be going left at the start, and then from here you can choose whether you want to go defense or HP. I personally lean towards defense improvements, although HP improvements does work as well. Like almost exactly the same in the damage calculation. So for me, I'd sort of be going the percentage-based defense because it's more defense here, and then defense and HP, and finishing ourselves off at +18. The 19 node, as we mentioned, it is situational. It's not of great relevance if you've got the variant bonus or are going to use a +7 speed gun with her. But if you've only got the +6 and don't have the variant, then yeah, the speed node is of value to you. So this is sort of the path that I would be following for Pika. And we may as well grab that 19 for the speed node as well. So yeah, that's what it would look like. Feel free to pause it if you wish. Otherwise, let's head back to the portal and we can take a look at her special skill. So her special skill is titled Advanced Remedy, and at level 10 skill and 64 charge speed, it will heal all allies for 290 HP. It It will then apply a buff to all allies, which will heal them for an additional 19% of their max health whenever they cast their special skill during the next 3 turns. So pretty straightforward skill, all things in all. It's ultimately just a healer. So let's take a little bit of a look at what that healing actually is specifically. So how I tend to compare healers, it's very similar to damage. So we just take their heal, we look at their range, which is all allies, and we multiply those together and divide by the number of tiles to charge their skill. So in the case of Pika, we can see she comes out as being 161 healing generated per tile, landing at number 4 of the 11 available pseudo and direct healing options in the game. The best option is obviously there in variant Pika and Doc Colton coming in with 244 heal per tile, but there are a lot of other options on the list. We see Nima there at 131, Mothor 121, and then all the way down the bottom you've got Hanali with her tiny minions at 30 heal per tile. So if we were to expand this list out to include all of the colors, so all of the 4 and 5 star direct and pseudo healers in the game, she is number 16 of the 52 available options. So she's in the top third, ultimately the top 30% really. It is worth noting that with the variant charge generation bonus, normal Pika would also be about 67 charge speed, so 8 tiles to charge, we get that charge break. And if we did include that onto this chart, we would be a heal per tile of 181. It doesn't change her in terms of this list. She is still number 4 of the yellows, but on that overall list, she does go from 16th up to 13th of all of the 4 and 5 star healers. If we were to expand our list and have a look at all of the direct healers, so just heroes that do healing across all of the colors, we can see Pika, she's there at 161, coming in number 10 of the available 15 options. So, variant Pika again is up there at 244, same as Doc Colton when you factor in his bonus heal as well. You've got Jocasta at 277, same as El Coyote, and then you've got some in the middle. Doodle, 177, Booster down the bottom, towards the bottom there at 117, and Jargle at 109. Again, if we were to take into account the variant bonus, which drops her to 8 tiles, she does move up to that 181 heal per tile, which is number 8 on the list. So she does go up 2 places on this particular list. So overall, she is a fairly solid healer. Middle of the pack sort of in most of the ways. But the thing with Pika is that she does actually have the opportunity for bonus healing. And this is where it says that all allies heal for 19% of their max health when using a special skill for 3 turns. So if we took the average 5-star health at the time of this recording, that's 1,312 HP. So 19% of that is about 250. It's 249 if we're going to be exact, but 250 additional heal. So the net healing for those heroes that can fire off their special skill within 3 turns is 540 HP. If we use that as the healing value onto the charts we were looking at before, the heal per tile jumps from the 161 original up to 299, which is above the best options currently available to. You've got Doc Colton and variant Pika, they were at 244. 299 tops them. And we can see that on this little chart here. She is now top of the pack with the bonus heal. Even if we didn't get all 5 allies firing off their special skills again within the 3 turns, even if only 3 of them got their skills off, that's still 244 heal per tile, which is now equal number 1 with variant Pika and the others. If we were to drop that down to the 8 tiles, it goes from the 244 and it actually becomes the outright best. So the 8 tiles from the variant bonus. So overall, Pika in her normal format is a very, very handy healer, right? Her immediate healing isn't quite as good as some of the other options we've got that are out there, but with a little bit of planning and a little bit of timing, you can actually make a really great use of the bonus heal part of her special skill and actually make her be a really, really good healer in the game. I do think, though, that when you compare Pika to some of the other healers in the game, she is very simplistic. It is just healing with some bonus heal. Most of the other healers in the game, they've got some kind of secondary effect that's going on. Either they've got a cleanse or some other effect like a defense debuff. So I wouldn't mind seeing that on Pika. I wouldn't mind seeing like either a defense buff of some kind or even just adding on a dispel or a cleanse just to align her with the effects we see on most of the other healers in the game. One final question that I'll address before I jump into the grading, which I know is always going to be asked, and that's which version of Pika would I use? Now, without stealing much thunder from the variant Pika review video, but doing a quick comparison, the normal version does have more defensive stats, which is better suited to healers and support heroes. The variant hero, though, does give more direct healing, so we can see it comes in at 390 heal versus the 290 on the base version. However, the base version can generate more with that bonus healing from special skills. So on the whole, I personally would probably go the normal version of Pika. You've also got the medic class as opposed to support, so I sort of like the additional heal spray you get from the medic class. So on the whole, I would probably use normal Pika for most attacking situations. The variant is probably better for defense teams because the AI is pretty terrible at doing timing, so you're not going to always get that bonus heal off. And also against DOT heavy defenses, that's also probably the other place where the variant version is going to be more useful. But on the whole, I'd probably use the base version of Pika more often than the variant version. So for her grading, so for Pika's grading, I'm going to give her a B+ for her War and Raid attack grade. Very good healer, easy to use, easy to get the additional heal off as well if you're going to put a little bit of time into, or timing into casting of those skills. For War Machines, I am going to give her a B grade. Healing is useful. It's not the best healer available, but it is still quite useful. And then similarly for eventing, a portion of the scoring is tied to a health bonus. So more healing equals better health score on that front as well. In War and Raid defenses, I'm going to give her a B grade, a good healer, still fast speed. I'd say her best position is probably flank, as is the case for most healers. Due to her speed though, you could put her in the wing and she would function okay there. Most healers just aren't fast enough to fire from the wing position and actually make an impact on the battle, but Pika probably can do that with her speed. In the 3 tournament settings, so we've got Bloody Battles up first, so no grading for this. There's no point grading healers on Bloody Battle tournaments. So the buff boosters, I'm going to give her a B grade for buff booster attack and a B- for her buff booster defense. Yes, she generates a buff for all of her allies, but that's probably about all she really contributes there. It's not great ultimately. For the charge tournament, so I'm going to give her a B+ for her charge tournament attack and a B for her charge tournament defense. Sorry, I misread that. The buff booster, it's a B+ and a B as well. So all of her, both the tournament gradings for buff booster and charge tournaments is a B+ for attack and a B- for a charge tournament defense. So overall for Pika's grading, that comes out as being a B+ for her overall attack grade and a B for her overall defense grade. And that concludes the content that I have for this review of Pika. As always, these are just my personal opinions on these heroes. I do love hearing your thoughts and feedback on them, so please feel free to jump down to the comments section of this video. Leave me a note. I try to read and respond to as many of you as I can. If you did also find the video to be good, useful, helpful, and all of that, feel free to like it, subscribe to my channel, and all of that sort of thing. But most importantly, share the video around, because if this sort of thing is useful for yourself, it's also going to be useful to the people you play with as well. Thank you once again for tuning in and joining me. I do hope I will see you again soon, maybe in the review for Variant Pika. But until then, good luck, stay safe, and happy gaming. Cheers, bye.